I'm still feeling nervous. My heart still bumps, and my hands are still very sweating. And I bet you understand why I experiencing this right now. Please raise your hand if some of you feel me or experience the same in this way. Okay, that's a lot. Thank you so much. This one is called empathy. We can feel each other. We actually can read each other. Your mirror neuron systems actually see what's happening in me, so you can feel, so you can pretend what I'm going through. And now here's the question that brings me today on this stage. Does talking to an AI chatbot may feel the same? Today we are standing at the moment in history where the question that once sounded absolutely absurd is now became very urgent. Can artificial intelligence replace the psychotherapy? Not improve it, not support it, but totally replace it. As a psychology master student and as a grief-informed specialist, I have sat with people who actually share their emotions in the most vulnerable way. And I have felt the weight of this exact question in my personal experience. Once during a difficult moment, I decided to write something inside my ChatGPT. And for a brief second, the response felt very comforting. But then, for a brief moment, I understood that actually ChatGPT understood my words, but actually not my experience or my pain. So this tiny moment of dissonance is what brings me here today. So let us try to understand why AI seems so tempting. AI listens better, way better than many humans do. It remembers details. It never judges, and also it answers instantly. It's like having a therapist who is available 24/7, and also this person doesn't need lunch break or help from their supervisor. They are always confident, they always know what to say. But there's the catch. From the cognitive science perspective, AI stimulates something we value deeply. It's attentive presence. AI can mirror or even mimic empathy, but cannot feel it. It can track emotional keywords, but not the trembling voice when you talk about the loss, or not subtle pause before you confess something painful. Neuroscience shows that empathy relies on mirror neural system, interoception, and limbic resonance. These are actual biological processes that AI cannot replicate. AI has data, but not nervous system. So let's talk about what makes therapy therapeutic. One of the strongest predictors of the healing in psychotherapy, whether it's cognitive-based therapy, ACT, psychodynamics, or art, it doesn't even matter. It's not the technique itself, actually. It's the therapeutic alliance. Therapeutic alliance consists of several main points. It's like trust, safety, emotional co-regulation, shared meaning, precious moments of silence, and ability to deal with uncertainty. Research from top-tier Q1 journals consistently shows that up to 30% of the positive therapeutic income comes from the relationship alone. But therapeutic alliance is not just being nice, it's not just being supportive. So actually, it's more like a dance of micro-signals. It's when you see that it's your therapist, he's making his or her eyes softening. You see a little tilt of the hand. You also feel the pause, and you see that actually the person is co-regulating with you. But AI doesn't breathe. AI does not resonate. AI does not co-regulate. And without these elements, AI can imitate the therapy, but it cannot replace the very mechanism of the therapy that makes it work. But let's be fair. AI is not the enemy. AI is a powerful tool, so we can actually use it already in our everyday life. In clinical psychology, AI can show us the early signs of anxiety, depression, and PTSD. It can analyze speech patterns and show us if there are any distortions. It can track mood more accurately than memory ever could. In cognitive sciences, AI helps create personalized interventions, and they can adjust in real time. So can you imagine having a CBT homework that adjusts in real time? So there is no need to wait for the other session with your therapist. It's actually 100% yours. In developmental psychology, children and teens who feel safer typing than talking to a real person can have a warm up with ChatGPT bot and then go to the real person to talk about their some kind of insecurities. In cultural psychology, AI can translate, it can adaptate and contextualize therapy materials for people who most of the time don't need any access to the therapeutic process due to language barriers. So yes, we know that AI is powerful. But powerful does not mean that it's human. Let's enter the most uncomfortable part about that. Privacy. Your deepest fears stored on the service that you cannot see. Are they encrypted? Yes. But are they safe forever? Nobody can promise that. Bias. AI learns from the internet, and as you know, internet is very biased. So can you imagine an AI therapist that unconsciously reproduces cultural stereotypes without the capacity to self-reflect? Dependence. A chatbot that instantly creates a false emotional safety net. So it's always available, always predictable, and always supporting. But healing requires facing discomfort, not avoiding it. The lack of crisis management. No AI can replace trained professional who recognizes imminent danger or risk, not through words alone, but through embodied perception. And also, we all know that there are several examples of children or young adults who committed suicide and were supported actually by AI chatbot. So please be aware. The illusion of good enough support. When people start to turn to AI as far as it's cheaper, as far as it's more available, and it's more easier, we should remember that this is not harmless. This is actually a structural risk. And once again, let's step into neuroscience for a moment. When two humans sit together, they synchronize. Their heart rates harmonize, breathing begins to align, and mirror neurons fire in a shared patterns. This is called interpersonal neurobiology. And it's why a comforting hand reduces cortisol, a safe gaze calms the amygdala, a warm voice activates the vagus nerve, and creative expression in art therapy stimulates emotional integration networks. Therapy is not just talking, it's actually a brain-to-brain and body-to-body process. AI, no matter how advanced, is a brain without body, logic without chemistry, and pattern recognition without resonance. So, being so dramatic, I just want you to smile for a second. Can you please imagine you're sitting there and crying your eyes out, expressing something terrible that had happened to you. And then you get the answer from AI. I understand. Would you like to rephrase it in a more positive way? Or, have you considered trying breathing exercises? Sometimes it's helpful, sometimes not. And sometimes it's emotionally so deaf tone, so we can even laugh through our tears. But humor aside, this mismatch reveals a core truth. AI responds to patterns, not the context, to sentences, but not sensations. So, can AI replace therapy? Actually, AI can replace some parts of therapy, but it cannot replace the therapist himself. AI can support, analyze, educate, screen, and supplement, but AI cannot replace the human capacity for presence, attunement, and emotional resonance. In fact, the more AI enters the mental health, the more value human therapists will become, not because we are faster or more accurate. Actually, it's just because we are alive and we are human beings. So right now we are standing at the crossroad. One path leads us to the future where the therapy is efficient but emotionally thin, where support is available 24/7, but nobody truly feels seen or like feeling real, where we outsource our inner world to someone who actually has not this one. And the other part leads us to a future where AI enhances therapy, but does not replace the human or soul of healing. A future where algorithm helps us see patterns, but empathy helps us make meaning. A future where AI gives information, but humans gives transformation. Healing is not a software process. Actually, healing is a human process. So I will leave you with this one question. If machine can understand your words, but not your pain or never your silence, should it be the one guiding you through your pain? Or perhaps the real future of mental health is not choosing between empathy or algorithm, but learning how to use or to let technology support the healing that only humans can truly create. That's all. Thank you so much.